What up, everybody? This is Dara Hunt from Live Life Fearless. Welcome back to our Fearless Show podcast. Today's date is May 3rd, 2018. With me, as always, is my co-host, Mr. Doris Walker. Say what up.
What's going on, everybody? Artist D. Walker here with another Fearless Show. We about to spoilercast the shit out of Infinity Wars.
Definitely.
Thank you for joining us today on this May 3rd.
This will definitely be the Infinity War episode. We're just going to talk about all things about the movie and just their whole cinematic universe and everything up to this date. But before we do that, there is one thing I want to talk about before we get lost in the sauce.
Okay.
So did you see the White House Correspondents Dinner?
No, I did not.
But do you know what I'm talking about?
A few things.
Huh.
Kind of, but I didn't look it up. Though. I just saw headlines.
Definitely look it up. It was...
Well, tell the people what you're talking about.
So, I mean, I'm sure everybody knows by now, but up-and-coming rising comedian Michelle Wolf was tapped to host this year's White House Correspondents Dinner. People that don't know what the White House Correspondents Dinner is like, where all the news media comes together and they talk about news and why it's important and blah, blah, blah. And then they always have like a guest host or a comedian to like basically roast everybody and like just tell jokes but that are relevant to that. And it's always about politics though. Like it's very much about politics and the White House and the president and everything associated with that, like Congress and Senate and everything. But so they've always, guests have always been pretty harsh. They've always had some pretty tough jokes, It's a roast, so like, I mean, this is what it is.
The George Bush Correspondents Dinners were hilarious.
Yeah.
Those ones were amazing.
And this year's was particularly rough. She absolutely went up there and destroyed everybody in that room. Like, it was unbelievable. Like, I watched it and I was visibly like feeling uncomfortable for them, like how hard she was going at them. But she did not pull any punches like whatsoever. Like, she was bodying people. Really bodying people. I don't want to even say the jokes because I can't like say it the right way. It's just something you have to see for yourself, bro. Like,
oh my God.
Absolutely bodied the entire room and like everybody, and like it was.
I love that because a lot of times they try to be tame because they're like, "Oh, it's the president." I got to make some edgy jokes, but I don't really want to offend anybody.
He didn't show up.
She was just like, didn't give a fuck.
Trump was a no-show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he didn't go.
Trump didn't even come through.
No,
that's hilarious.
He did a rally in like Michigan like the same time to like try to distract from that.
Nigga did a rally?
Yeah.
The Correspondents Dinner? I don't want to talk to those people. I don't want to.
Nah, you know how he likes to talk about how, or he and all his followers like to talk about how other people are so sensitive, but he's so sensitive he can't even go to the White House Correspondents Dinner because he knows he was gonna get absolutely roasted and.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to go to my own roast while I'm the president right now.
But he's been to his roast on like Comedy Central, which just doesn't make sense why you wouldn't go to it now. It's like,
I don't know.
I guess this one hits a little too close to home for him, yeah. But
yeah, maybe they're digging deeper.
She told him real funny shit like before she even started. Like she told a couple jokes and she was like, "Yeah, you should have researched me before you hired me."
Right.
And then she proceeded to absolutely like demolish the entire room. Like it was unbelievable. She was like nothing was off limits. She was like abortion jokes, like everything, bro. Like everything. It was just like Jesus.
That's tight.
So it was definitely funny.
What's the name again?
Michelle Wolf.
Michelle Wolf. Okay.
And I guess like the biggest thing about it is that now like there was like a backlash. Like people were like the media or certain news networks and certain people in politics are like coming out and saying how vulgar and offensive it was basically, and she should issue an apology to the like that. And I'm just like,
she's a comedian. Fuck it.
First of all, she's a comedian. We already talked about this with Chappelle and shit. Like you're a comedian, you shouldn't. You have a license to basically say almost whatever the fuck you want. Yeah. And like you should know this when you're hiring
in the room
a
if
comedian.
You're good.
And then it's the same people who are like, whenever Trump says some offensive, vulgar shit, they just play it off as like, he's just joking. Like,
oh, that's locker room talk.
like what? Like she's joking. Like she's a comedian. This is what she all paid her to do, to tell jokes. And like people were coming out and like super offended by it. And I just thought it was great. Like this is probably, I didn't know who she was before. And then apparently I found out she has like a show coming out on Netflix and everything. So
her price was like
perfect.
Well, Netflix, lucky they got her correspondents dinner. They locked her in before the price went up.
But she bodied it. So I suggest you go watch her White House Correspondents like roast. It was brutal. Yeah. It was fucking brutal.
That's dope.
Definitely brutal.
I'm gonna check that out for sure. See? That's what that alternative... See, that's what that was. Kanye with Smokescreen. Trump did that too. He probably talked to Kanye and was like, all right, so wait to release your interview with Kanye.
We'll talk about Kanye on the Music Files podcast. That's
with Charlotte Maid.
There's a lot to dissect there too, but I don't even want to get into it on this one.
Yeah, it's just awkward how that became a political thing too, but whatevs. But yeah, shout out to Michelle Cole.
Wolf. She was like worked with on the, was it the Tonight Show? Or was it not the Tonight Show? The one with Trevor Noah on Comedy Central. The Daily Show.
The Late Show. The Daily Show, yeah, The Daily Show. Yeah.
So she was like on the correspondence on there and stuff, and like now she's really blowing up.
Did Trevor Noah do one of the correspondence dinners?
I don't believe so.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of people from that show typically do, though. They do get the shot to do that.
Yeah, Jon Stewart, I think. Stephen Colbert did one, right?
He did. And the one Indian guy, I forget his name. I think he's Indian.
Which one?
He was last year's.
Russell Peters or Aziz?
Not Aziz.
Aziz Ansari?
Peters. No.
Russell Peters?
No. I can't remember his name. He was the young guy. He could be Indian. I'm not sure.
I don't know his name. I think I know who you're talking about, though.
You guys let us know what his name is. If you guys know what I'm talking about last year. He had the
stand-up special. Yeah, I think on Netflix, too.
He could be Indian or Middle East. I don't know, but...
Maybe he said Pakistani. I'm trying to think...
But you know what I'm talking about.
He's Indian or Pakistan. But that was part of his stand-up, so that's why I remember that part.
So,
but yeah,
him.
The correspondence.
He was
comedy
on the Daily Show too, but he had some, some hard jokes, but he was definitely much more tame than Michelle Wolf. So, just go watch it, everybody. If you haven't seen it, just go watch it. I want to hear everybody's opinion on it.
Right.
She went hard, and she told a lot of truth, which obviously hits people even harder. That's why they really get in their feelings about it.
Right.
But yeah, that's all I want to talk about before we hop straight into this Avengers Infinity War.
Infinity Wars.
So you saw it last night?
Yeah. So
I saw it on Monday.
Yo, I like seeing just going to see that shit. Like, you're amped, but you don't know what you're getting into. Like, well, you kind of know. For the people who know a few things about the comic books, you kind of have some expectations, but you don't know if... I kind of was expecting a letdown, so that's kind of my energy.
I was not expecting a letdown. Everything I saw from the trailers, everything I was hearing, and the directors they got to do it were the ones from Guardians of the Galaxy. I just knew, bro, like they were going to body it. Or not Guardians of the Galaxy, they were the ones who did... Russo brothers. I will say Winter Soldier. I believe.
That makes sense.
Tell me if I'm wrong, for those listening, but I believe they did Winter Soldier. Not Guardians of the Galaxy, but I could be wrong. Just let me know. But either way, they did one of the best movies that Marvel's have put out, and I just had a good feeling about it. And
yeah.
So I went to see it, and I was fucking pumped to go see it. So, just tell me your initial reaction impressions before we dive deep into like the spoilers and the Easter eggs.
Okay, without spoilers.
I mean, you can
my
throw
my
some
initial
light
without
spoilers and
spoilers.
just your overall feeling
Some
about
light.
it.
Well, after seeing it, I guess I'm still excited to see more Marvel movies. There were some questions that they left for us that I'm interested in, how they'll play out. So, obviously, more Avengers movies, or at least one more. So, I'm thinking like in the movie, just the beginning, okay, I was hyped for that. They came out strong. So that's actually honestly really pleasing to see.
Oh, they wasted
Them
zero
start
time.
strong. Zero time.
There was no time wasted.
The most
in this
savage
movie.
part is, I was talking hella shit too, because I was like, yo, this is Thanos. Thanos is supposed to kill everyone. Like, if Thanos doesn't murder anybody, I'm going to be pissed. So I go to it, and bam. They're like, oh yeah, you wanted Thanos to kill somebody?
Yeah.
There you go. Like, I was like, okay, well, never mind. I'll enjoy the rest of this movie now. So they kind of like put my foot in my mouth immediately. So then I was just like in for a good ride. But yeah, I mean, I kind of wished it was a two-parter just of this movie alone, just because of how many stories that obviously there's so much backstory in the other movies, but like there were particulars that I wanted.
Movies, 10+ years or 10 years build up to this. Like, how much more do you need a backstory?
I know, but there were side characters that don't have their own movies that were very integral characters, like the Scarlet Witch and like there's just different characters that are like really strong that like their backstory is kind of there, but like they just became important for no, like, I don't know.
Scarlet Witch has always been important in the
Gamora.
Movies, so.
I loved Gamora.
She's been important.
In this. She's super. Yeah, she was important.
Thanos'
in
daughter,
everything.
So it's always made her super important.
Yeah, but like, no, I guess it's weird. They really. This is actually what's cool about this movie is they really kept it a lot to the comics. So that was interesting.
To a certain degree.
Well, I mean, they swapped out a few things.
I think they took the parts they needed, and then they made, because it's impossible to translate directly to film. Like, it's too convoluted of a comic book story. So I think they did a great job.
Because I mean. Yeah, I think because I like Silver Surfer was, I think,
he was part of it. Everybody was part of it.
He was the one they sent. He was the one that was beamed away instead of the Hulk. Actually, I think.
Facts.
It was Silver Surfer. So.
Well,
that would have been
spoilers
crazy.
right there, but yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, oh yes, right. Forgot about that. Anyways, yo, that shit. But there was like some lit scenes. There was some awkwardness though in some of the battle scenes, but a lot of my like favorite parts, awkwardly enough, were like in the Wakanda scenes, just like some funny parts that were in there, and then at the end, just a lot of the ending was like crazy. But I don't know.
Rating. Let's say out of.
See, when I give a rating, I'm like. Out of I'm just grading against Marvel, right?
We'll give it a letter score.
Give it a letter score, okay. Well, shit. Grade. If I have to give it a letter score, oh man, you'd have to give it an A-.
A-, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to give it a B+, but that sounds kind of ridiculous.
That is ridiculous, and I was gonna destroy you later on for that.
I know, that's why I said A-. I was like, just because of a few things, but the A-, yeah.
So I was super pumped to go see this because obviously this is the definitive like Avengers Marvel movie. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what
they've been doing the whole time
for 10 years. This is what they've started way back with Iron Man, and even you could even say the first Hulk movie with fuck is his name? Who's in the role? Ethan Hawke? No,
you're talking about Christopher. No,
Who's in that
What's
one?
his name? You talking about the first one that was trash, or
Not the
the
first
second
one,
one?
but the second like reboot.
Okay. Oh, okay. The second one. That's Oh, Edward Norton.
Edward Norton. Yeah. So I mean, that was technically not like part of it, but it was supposed to be part of the cinematic universe. So that was like the initial kind of kickoff. So for me, it's like more than 10 years.
Yeah.
But even like been building up for this movie forever. Like, yeah, the first Avengers was great, like when we first got it, but this is what they were really working up to. Like, this was like their dream that even they probably couldn't imagine would actually come true, because it's insane to think about that they could get all of these characters on screen. Like, it's fucking crazy.
It's hard to think they actually did it, honestly.
Like, people take that for granted. Like, there's no way this was possible even 10 years ago. Like, to even imagine that this would actually fucking happen. And in a way that's like crazy. At this level, you know? Because we've been shitted on for so long. Like, they just changed everything. So this is like the definitive superhero movie that we've been waiting for. Super pumped for it. Like you said, 10 years of build up. So if you can't really just go into this movie and not watch the other films before, because you're missing so much backstory, like you said, because they don't go into backstory about characters because they expect you to have already, you know,
have to watch
gotten like three,
both Guardians of the Galaxy, all
most
of the Thor movies.
Characters have gotten 3 films by now, so it's like if you haven't seen all that leading up to it, plus the 2 Avengers movies, it's kind of like, well, you're kind of gonna be lost, but that's your fault. So it's like it doesn't make sense for them to give everybody a backstory when you have full movies dedicated to these characters.
Yeah.
So I was okay with that part. But like I love the pace that it moved at. It did not waste any time at all getting with the shits. Like it went straight with the shits. Let's just get to it. Like, y'all been waiting for Thanos. We're gonna give you Thanos. I didn't want to wait 30 minutes before we finally got Thanos again. Like, I'd have been pissed if they did that. Like, bro, we went 10 years.
If they were just like gathering around.
Yeah, like still building up to them. Like, nah, bro, we've been waiting 10 years. Like,
recruiting some more superheroes.
Right from the start. Yo, here he is in all his glory. And here's how fucking badass he is. Within 10 minutes of the movie, you automatically know, like, this is a guy, like, this is the guy. Like, he established himself as, like,
just like, oh,
this is the guy that we've been talking about.
He basically deflates all of your hope.
So like I said, for people that haven't read the comics, you only see the movies, you just see his face, you just hear his name for like 10 years, and you just can't really imagine how much of a threat he is. But then right from the back, they tell you exactly how much of a threat he is. And I don't know, it's just all the team ups they have throughout the movie. Like, to think that they could have all of their characters that they've had, which is easily over 20, probably over 30 characters now. Yeah. And to somehow make that work in like a less than 3-hour film without it feeling like over full. And like, so all the team ups were great. I think even better than, like, I remember the first Avengers, I was like blown away by some of those team up moments between characters that like those big comic book moments that you just love to see, where like these two characters that you love come together and like do something crazy. Like, they did it, I think, even better in this one, and there was a lot of them, and I loved the people they paired them off with. There were some key characters that were definitely undersold and underplayed in this one. Yeah. But I kind of give them a pass because I feel like they'll have more of a chance in the part 2. Yeah. To shine. And
which they can't release the title of yet.
But ultimately they said, like, this is Thanos' story, and like they gave him a complete story arc in this movie. Yeah. And it was fucking awesome. Like I said, Killmonger was my favorite villain. Yeah. Thanos is not my favorite villain.
Thanos is my favorite villain of all time.
And for the same reason, even though I probably relate more to Killmonger, just like, you know, because of all the backstory we already talked about, but everything. But it's still for the same reasons that I liked him so much, is that even though he is this ultimate badass guy, they made him like relatable, and they made his plan like rational.
They showed
and, like,
his despair,
and it was like
they,
rational.
Showed it.
I just remember thinking like, damn, like I kind of agree with him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you feel with Killmonger. It's like, I kind of agree with what the fuck he's saying. So it's like,
right?
Yeah, like, yeah, he's a bad guy, but it's like, he's not like some psychopath. Like, everything he's saying is very rational, and it just sounds like something that you could actually believe in. And like, so that just made him so grounded of a character, which is crazy because he's like all CGI and like he's this otherworldly alien that you feel like you would never, like you would just be
That's
a beast that comes through and wrecks everything.
CGI, but like, he looked perfect too.
Yeah, he's great. The CGI was great. It was wonky in little areas, but overall it was great. But
yeah,
so just, I mean, just the story was amazing. Thanos' story, him as a character, this is the biggest thing to me was getting Thanos right, and they absolutely knocked it out the fucking park with him. And then just like the fight scenes were just as intense as possible, and just so like the pacing was another huge thing. You know, when you have such a big movie like this, it's hard to get pacing right, but I think they nailed it basically, and they nailed it in a way where it doesn't feel like it ever lets up. Like it's just gasp it all the way, but it doesn't feel like it's rushing you through shit either. Like it gives you time to breathe and like gives you those moments of great dialogue and levity and shit. But then like when the action kicks in, it really fucking kicks in.
Yeah.
So for me, like this is what I've been waiting for, bro. And like I just left like.
So this is your A+ then?
I'm probably gonna give it an A+, dog. Like I remember just walking out the theater and everybody, bro, like everybody just had a big ass fucking smile on their face, like. And then like just the reveals of the movie and stuff, people were just cheering and shit. Like this was just a big fucking movie, though. So A+ for me.
Word.
My
reason for the minus.
A+. So that was our non-spoiler review. So for everybody who want to know how we really felt about it, you should probably sign out now if you haven't seen it yet, because we're about to go full on spoiler and talk about all the little details and characters and Easter eggs and little stuff that you have to see the movie for.
We're about to dive into the scenes now. We're gonna really spoil the shit out of it. So
opening scene.
Got our initial.
Yeah. So
the opening scene.
So hop out right now. Spoiler warning. So opening scene. Loki's
dead.
Did not waste any fucking time with him. Just killed him. Like, not like at the end of the movie where people started disappearing, but like, I remember I was texting my friend, he was like, after he saw the movie, he's like, yeah, but everybody's gonna come back, you know, they're gonna get the god. I was like, yeah, but everybody's gonna come back, except for Loki, for sure. He's dead. Like, like he's dead, bro. Like, he snapped his fucking neck.
He's out of here.
Nothing.
Loki's dead.
I was a little shocked, but I was like, this is what I wanted, because this is Thanos. Like, you don't face Thanos and not have consequences.
Right. So you don't just walk away from him. Like,
and for sure didn't just walk away. Killed him. Well, I guess he also killed, I always forget his name, Heimdall from Thor.
Oh, yeah. I forgot his name, too. The gatekeeper.
Idris Elba's character. Killed him.
Idris Elba, yeah.
After he absolutely manhandled the Hulk.
Oh.
Manhandled.
Oh.
Like, but then,
that was clutch.
2 seconds.
Yo, because, like, what happened was the Hulk, they were like, oh, because we have the Hulk. The Hulk comes through.
Everyone's like, we have the Hulk.
They were like, they were like, no, they stopped the guards, let him have his fun. They said, let Thanos have his fun. I was like, oh, shit. Oh, this is about to be savage. It was. He basically scared the Hulk out of coming out for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. About theories and if we think that's what it is, but first, like, he fucked the Hulk up completely, fucked him up, and then Heimdall beamed him to Earth basically to warn everybody that Thanos is on his way, which is what you were talking about in the comic books. Silver Surfer was the guy who showed up on Earth warning that Thanos is coming, but obviously they can't use Silver Surfer for numerous reasons. Fox owns that whole property, and you can't just introduce somebody like that now. You need, some build up to that. So they use Hulk, which was smart because he was in Thor Ragnarok already in space. And it was always like, how's he going to get back home? Mm-hmm. Which I don't even think they explained how he got to space, but whatever. For the story, it worked. So they sent him back.
Yeah. He was there. I don't
And Thor, and they blew up the ship. And, Thor's a god, so he didn't just die in space, which is dope as fuck. And,
right.
Yeah, but Loki, the first real casualty of Infinity War.
Yeah. That was, but fuck it. I mean, it's Loki, right? All the Loki fans probably were real crushed.
Because, he's got a big following and people love him. And then, they're like, oh yeah, you loved him as a villain? Or here's a real villain.
Yeah.
Here's a real villain who actually gets shit done.
Here's the real villain. Right? And didn't Loki say some shit like, you'll never be a god?
He did say that, yeah.
What kind of shit is that? Like, I'm putting you in your place, and I could bring you back if I wanted to, after I'm done.
He's brought him back before. That's why he said no more resurrections. So for everybody wondering, exactly. Because didn't Loki was sucked in the black hole or some shit in the first one. So he brought him back, and then he sent him to Earth to start the Avengers. That's how they were connected and shit. Mm-hmm. So then the next scene, I think he goes, was it to Hulk or was it to? Yeah, it was Hulk shows up in Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum and tells him Thanos is coming, and then Doctor Strange, who I really liked actually in this movie. Because, in the first one, I was still iffy about him. I liked him, but I didn't really like him that much. But I like him. He feels like he has become, himself more.
Right.
And, very confident in, his power.
Yeah, no, he played it well. So, he's I'm the keeper.
This is what I am. Yeah, there's no more doubt. I like him in this one.
Yeah.
And he goes to meet Tony Stark, and, their whole interaction between basically two. Because we mentioned how their stories are super similar, how they became their powers and their personalities and shit, super cocky, arrogant people.
Right.
So to see them going at it was funny because they are such similar personalities and shit. They think they know everything the best, and it's calling them a douche and shit, and a douche calling another douche a douche. So it's that. So it was, but it feels because Doctor Strange started out as a huge douchebag, but then he kind of realized that, and he's not so much anymore.
Yeah.
While he's looking at Tony, and I feel he sees his old self,
Right.
So that was dope. And then the Black Order shows up. For people that don't know, the Black Order is Thanos' most elite group of warriors, I guess, whatever. They all have a bunch of powers. There's only five? Was it 5 of them in this one? Or 4? It was 4. 4 in this one, but there's 5 normally.
Okay. I only remember 4 off the top of my head.
Yeah, it was 4. Normally it's 5 in the comics, but they use 4. Yeah. So they show up to Earth, and Ebony Maw, I believe was the guy's name, and the Black Dwarf. They show up down there and start wrecking shit, and Ebony Maw is the standout out of the group for me.
He was the most
savage.
He was probably he was his number one, right hand. He was I've never failed Thanos in all the,
His powers are the most impressive for sure. He made short work of everybody, including Doctor Strange. And Doctor Strange is an intergalactic powerhouse, basically.
Wizard,
yeah.
Yeah. Know what? Honestly, though, part of my A- is Doctor Strange.
Okay. Why?
Yeah. Well, Thanos said it himself. I'm just jumping to the end. You didn't use your most powerful weapon, or the most powerful weapon you have. You didn't choose.
Okay, I'm going to tell you why. But we're going to get to that.
I know there's a reason for it in the second film. There's 2 ways the second film could go for me. and the Time Stone is definitely one of them. The Soul Stone would be the other one.
No,
But
you need all of
basically,
them. Somebody's gonna wear it. We're getting the end of the movie,
Well,
so I'm gonna tell you exactly why you're wrong.
talking about Nebula.
I'm gonna tell you exactly why
Talking
you're
about
wrong.
Nebula?
I'm gonna tell you exactly why you're wrong at the end. But we're gonna go. We're gonna
Watching
get
it,
through
though-
this first. We're gonna talk about
I know.
because now you're
That's
getting
how I felt
theories
when I
into the
first watched
features into like the next film, Avengers 4. So
Yeah.
I'm a
All right.
so then
Basically, I just wanted him to use his Time Stone more. I just wanted him to use time.
look.
He didn't really
We're
use
gonna
time.
get there.
But
So
I'm like, did he though?
so
Because what was the decoy for? No, I'm just kidding. Back to
yeah, we're gonna go back. That's the end. We're gonna go back.
rewind. Bring it back. So the Hulk is with Doctor Strange. The bad guys are coming. Thanos' right hands are here to fuck shit up.
Yeah, the
And
Hulk. The Hulk is not hulking out. He doesn't want to come out.
Yeah,
Which
gets green for a second and glows back down.
I mean, there's a couple. I mean, the general theory is that he's afraid of Thanos, and that's why he doesn't want to come out because he's never got his ass whooped like that before. Because he is still like
Yeah.
a child, basically.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I know that's the reason. I don't know if I believe that's the reason because Thanos isn't even around anymore. So it's not like he'd be fighting Thanos.
Yeah, I was like, that's not Thanos though. Like I was like, none of them are Thanos.
So I think that'd be like an easy cop out, which it doesn't make sense. I hope it's not that reason.
I mean, I have no idea. Like, because there was literally, I don't even know. Because Thanos didn't even have like the Soul Stone yet or anything. It was just a battle.
No, he had the Power
I
Stone
mean, he had. Oh yeah, he did have
and the Space Stone. He had two.
in the Space Stone.
But
I
he
don't
didn't
know what it
use
could
those.
have
He
been.
didn't
I
need
just
to
thought
use
he
those.
just. Honestly, I feel like he just scared the shit out of him.
I just hope that's not the reason because that doesn't make sense because Thanos was never around again since he was fighting those.
Yeah. It's either that or the Hulk wants to take over completely.
He did in Ragnarok.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like he wants to do that. It's either one or the other. He's
I think they're using these movies to kind of like flesh out the dynamic between Bruce Banner and the Hulk, and like make it more than just he's a hulking monster and he punches shit hella hard. Like they're actually trying to give him like depth. So you're seeing both sides. Like Ragnarok, you got all Hulk, and now you're getting like all Bruce Banner. And can we just say Mark Ruffalo is a million times better than Edward Norton as the Hulk, as Bruce Banner?
Yeah, well, that's because Mark Ruffalo uses more comic relief in his version, whereas Edward Norton had zero comic relief in his version.
Or much personality either as Bruce Banner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, did he smile in that movie? Like, I don't think he smiled once.
I don't know. It was... So I can't even imagine Edward Norton. At first it was weird to see the change. Then I was like, I can't even imagine him as in these Avengers movies.
Oh, right?
I don't know how that
would be weird.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, really weird. But, yeah, Mark Ruffalo's killing it.
Okay, so then fast forward through all that. We missed some things, whatever. We fast forward. The Guardians go to the wreck of Thor's ship. So I don't know if there's any Asgardians left because they blew up the ship but had all the refugees. I'm assuming not all the Asgardians are dead, but there were a lot on there, so I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work, how that's going to play out. But they go there and
It was lost in space.
They see Thor, and they meet Thor, and Thor is still alive, obviously, because he's a god.
Yeah.
And a bunch of funny shit happens because that chemistry was the best. That was probably the best team up for me out of the entire film. Was Guardians and Thor.
That was great. That was really cool.
There was a ton of laughs in
that.
in that shit, bro.
Yeah, that was a cool little episode
between him and like Star-Lord and and Drax, like just that whole dry humor and just not getting particularly humor like Drax did, like. Or Thor, so like it was funny as fuck, and he was calling Rocket Rabbit the whole time.
Rabbit, yeah.
So I thought that was dope. That was a dope team up.
Or what did you say? Like,
And
that was
basically the whole thing was for him to get his new weapon, which is Stormbreaker, which is an axe hammer.
Stormbreaker.
By the dwarf,
Which
played
is...
by... what's his name? Who plays him, the actor? Peter Dinklage. Peter Dinklage from
Peter Dinklage.
From Game of Thrones. Tyrion Lannister.
Tyrion? That's what he's famous for now.
Yeah, from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he's from...
So he was playing a dwarf, but he was like
Giant.
50 feet tall. So I mean, it was kind of...
Yeah.
I didn't love his role. I thought it was kind of weird. Kind of broke out of it a little bit. Like, it kind of messed up the pacing. Not like crazy, but I just didn't think that that role they gave him was particularly interesting to what the story, you know, like they tried to give him like a tragic backstory, but it didn't feel like anybody cared.
Right. Well, because they didn't like really do like a flashback.
No, they just
like
did
that.
all dialogue. Like, this is what happened.
Yeah,
look
they
at my
just
hands
did it all
now.
dialogue.
Metal hands. And then it was like, okay, well, can you make this? And then it was like, like, I'm sorry you lost your entire, family and friends and everything and had your hands cut off.
It's
but
like, yeah,
hey,
fuck
can you
all
make
that.
this?
You remember how to do it though, right? Like,
so that was all right. So that was one weird part where I was like, all right, this is not working really. Let's keep this moving a little bit. Let's get that weapon gun. Yeah. But the actual process of making a weapon was dope. So I'll give him a pass for that.
That was the best part of that. Because Thor really, showed
out. Thor was a huge part of this movie. They showed... All right, so the first couple of Avengers, I don't think they did a great job of showing like how powerful of a character he actually is.
This is the only time he's looked.
But this is the time where it looked like he was a fucking beast,
actually a guy.
Like an actual guy.
Yeah, like,
because there's no way any of the other Avengers are on his level at all. Should even be on his level. But it looked like many times that more people were more powerful.
I can fight the Hulk like toe to toe. Like
bare hands,
and we can tie.
But
bare hands.
me and Iron Man. But me and Iron Man are like on the same level. Like, nah, dog. Like,
the fuck.
I love Iron Man, but nah, bro. Like, they finally showed how beastly he was in this movie.
Iron Man he should have been dead thousands of times. Like,
I mean, that's one thing about the movie for me was kind of weird. Is like, what is Iron Man's power level, bro?
Talking shit.
No, like, what? Like, how powerful is he? Because I just feel like he's getting more and more powerful each movie.
Well, he keeps building new things. They keep showing
That's cool,
he's got
but
this,
it's
like,
technology.
Hammer. He's got this, like, 1,000-pound hammer pressure accessory thing.
His new suit is dope. It's all nanotechnology. So, like, it can reconfigure itself on the fly. And, like, if a piece gets broken off, more pieces move around to, like...
Right.
To shape in the shift. And like gives him like new weapons and shit. Like, that was dope as fuck. But still, it's still Earth technology versus a guy with a fucking Infinity Gauntlet, and he was like going toe to toe with him, and I was just like, how powerful is he, bro? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me that he's.
What was up with the bubbles though? What was up with Thanos and the bubbles? Yeah.
It was like a joke, like he was just making fun of him. Like, nothing you do even matters because I have the reality stone.
He made it bubbles. Why didn't he just make it smoke or ash or some shit? Like, this nigga made it shit bubbles, dog. That shit was hilarious. Like, the villain, that was the one awkward part of Thanos, was making shit turn into bubbles.
I didn't think that was awkward. I thought it was funny. Like, because look at you, you look like funny. A joke.
But thinking about it in retrospective, it's like, it's hilarious. But that's what I thought. I was like, why didn't you just turn his suit into bubbles, dog? Like, why didn't Iron Man's suit just turn into bubbles?
Because he doesn't actually want to kill any of them. Did you not notice that? Like,
of course, he saved all the original Avengers.
Like, when they were trying to stop him at the end, he could have easily just flicked his hand and wiped him out, like, turned him to dust. But he even restrained Black Widow, like... He kept her from moving, but he didn't kill it. Like, come on. Like, that's when I was like, he's not actively... That's why he's not, like, just a straight-up bad guy. Because he's not wanting to kill them. He's just trying to complete his mission.
Right. Which is savage.
Okay, so we got through
that
all
ending.
that. That's the basic first half, and then we finally get to Wakanda, and we finally see Captain America finally makes his appearance. And where's one? I guess so. This is why I wouldn't give the movie A plus just because the dwarf thing in this part, because like the Black Order, they looked especially weak in this movie.
Oh yeah,
And they were supposed to be like except for Ebony Maw. But even then, like,
yeah.
they killed him so quickly.
Well, at that point, yeah, they killed him, but
they made them look so weak because she got fucking beat up by Black Widow, bro. And like, as great of a fighter as she is, this guy has destroyed the almost entire planets by like themselves.
Yeah,
and that didn't make
my
sense.
problem with Black Widow is that she doesn't have super strength, but she can block people with super strength, like weapon attacks. Like how can you block some shit without super strength? That a super strength person is swinging down on you and not get like destroyed.
That was a huge issue I have with it. Is like, okay, great. I know she's like one of the best hand-to-hand combatants in all of Earth, but she's still a woman, and. Not saying that women can't fight, but there's obviously strength levels, and she is fighting.
Tony Stark's not doing that without a suit,
and she's fighting. And she's not even fighting humans. She's fighting like overpowered aliens who have like conquered planets. Yeah, and like, she's literally blocking
for centuries,
strikes,
dog. Like, not a couple years,
like, and taking them down like with super ease, bro. Like. She took out that first guy. It was so easy. I'm like...
Just like... Shoop, shoop, shoop. Like,
I was like, well, this was really cool, but so unrealistic. Like, I understand it's Avengers, like, comic book movie, but still, it was just like, come on, Doc. Really? Black Order is supposed to be badass.
You need Hawkeye to make her look, like, accurate, because he would have had to shoot an exploding arrow or something.
No, I mean, she had Falcon. But yeah. It just didn't make sense because they were just fucking up Vision and Scarlet Witch, mano y mano.
Bro,
and then Black Widow shows up.
What did they do to Vision, bro? Vision was so disappointing.
Vision's been disappointing, even in the last one.
Yeah, that was probably the most disappointing character in this Avenger Marvel universe.
Yeah, he's pretty weak. He's pretty weak. Like,
how did he come with like such supreme powers and like all of a sudden, when he first was created, he was like the shit.
He was supposed to be stronger than like
nothing.
Iron Man.
He's less than Captain America now.
Yeah, he's pretty weak.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Vision was a pretty weak spot for me in this one. Like, he was so integral because he has the...
They should have just blown his head up the first scene.
Because he has the Soul Stone, but it was only important, like, almost forced. Like, you have the Soul Stone, so you are important, but you're not really important because you get fucked up in every scene you're in. And like, we have to all protect you. Like, you're like this weak, baby. And I'm just like, jeez.
Yeah, I liked how they incorporated Wakanda though with that situation.
Okay, so Cap showed up, and then he saves their ass, and takes them to Wakanda.
Yeah,
and
because it was funny how like she was like, "Oh, did you try to like unify or whatever it was?" The like,
yeah, it was just a little quick
separate the gem from his conscious.
So it was a quick shit on your intelligence. Like, you think your guys are really smart. Like, let me just shit on your guys' intelligence real quick. Like, that's what that was. It was just a little shit, a little quick one.
Yeah, just a little like, you guys had to come here, huh?
I mean, this is one part I wish, because we love Black Panther so much, is I wish Wakanda had more screen time, like the characters from there. Because, Black Panther is there, but he didn't have that much of a role.
Did Bucky do anything? After they met up, did he even have fight time?
Yeah, bro.
I don't remember.
He picked up Rocket Raccoon and they did that like circle spin shooting shit.
Oh,
he was in the middle of the battle. That's what he's like. White Wolf is tired of fighting, but I'm sure he'll be up for this. And they brought him the new arm. Come on, but yeah.
Well, if he's officially the White Wolf, he'll probably be in. The next Black Panther movie.
But they basically didn't. It was just a location for them to be at. It didn't feel like it was like an integral part of the story. Because the characters, they got a few lines here and there, but it didn't feel like Black Panther was really that important to it, And then it didn't feel like Wakanda
he wouldn't have been if they didn't have to, like, I think it was just because of the Soul Stone, honestly.
Yeah, it was literally just
If
because
they
of the
didn't
Soul
have to,
Stone.
like,
That's why I said it was just location. Like, they just
go
brought him
there.
in
The
because
Black
of the Soul
Panther
Stone.
wouldn't have fought at all. Yeah.
But I give them a little pass because Black Panther did just come out like a month ago. So it was like, all right, we did get a full Black Panther story. So I kind of give you a pass for that we didn't get much more of it.
Yeah.
But it would have been cool to see them get more, shine. But even Cap didn't even get that much, time, I feel like, in this story.
Cap didn't get much.
It was definitely like Iron Man
Right.
and Thor and Thanos versus Cap. Cap just got the little stuff at the end. It didn't really feel like he was a huge part of it. But this is why I said earlier, I think that they will be a much bigger part in the second part, especially Cap. I have a theory, but I think Cap is going to be super central to this part 2. So yeah, they did the Wakanda thing. There was a big old fight at the end fight basically, which is dope as fuck. Got a lot of cool team ups. You got the Dormalaji, the general, forget her name, and Black Widow going, fighting together. That was such a dope moment. Yeah, that was a dope moment. You got the Rocket Raccoon.
It was funny too because she was like,
Winter Soldier.
when the Scarlet Witch jumped down, she was like,
yeah,
where's
where
she
she's been in a fight. Yeah, so then obviously they win the Cold War or whatever, but they don't because Thanos takes so we're gonna jump back. So they go to Thanos versus Star-Lord, Drax, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange.
What's the
and that one
Antana girl's name?
I always forget her name. I was gonna say her name, but I always forget. So they were all fighting against Thanos on his home planet, which was destroyed and went extinct a long time ago. This was a great scene.
This is after. Did we talk about the sacrifice? We skipped over that.
Oh yeah, we did skip that. So this is why I love Thanos so much, is they put so much. So you just think Thanos is like this heartless, ruthless guy, but like he really like loved. Again, this Gamora was a huge part of the story, like way more than I thought she would be. I knew she was important because she's his daughter, but like they really made her like a really central part of the story. Like she was the key to the story almost. Yeah, and like. Because you always wondered, like, why doesn't Thanos just kill her and shit? Like, he could easily just kill her. Like, why does he keep doing this? He keeps bringing her back. Like, he brought her back to the ship where he was torturing Nebula, and she was like
her sister.
So she was so important because she knew where the location of the Soul Stone, which he needed, obviously, and she took him there. So this is where we get that really cool cameo. Yeah,
what was that? Red Skull?
Red Skull. Red Skull made an appearance from the very first Captain America movie. Unexpected, but dope.
Yeah,
yeah, that was dope. So that
was really cool though.
Because it looks like he gets vaporized in the first one, but
I
guess it just banished him to this place where he is stuck leading other people to these stones and whatever. So
he's a prisoner of the Soul Stone.
Yeah, to possess the Soul Stone, you have to sacrifice what you love the most.
Yeah,
and I didn't expect to be that much of an emotional moment for Thanos in the movie, but it was like a super.
He cried.
It was like one of the most emotional moments of the movie. Like
I was like, damn. That was probably in the top 3.
Easily. And he cried and she's laughing oh, this is
she's like, you love anything.
You won't get it because you don't love anything. And then she's like, oh, he's not crying for that, he's crying for you. Because he really loved her as a daughter, which is
Yeah.
unexpected for everybody. Like,
I was like, oh, wow. And I was like, okay, so the flashbacks make sense. That's why they showed her as a little girl so much.
they gave her, like you were saying, that they didn't give Gamora a backstory. They gave her a great backstory. They told her all the how she met Thanos and all this, and like that whole connection. They really showed that connection, like, and how it was, and like how he could feel this way about, you know, somebody that's not really his daughter, and that he basically took from a planet he just destroyed.
Yeah.
And it was just, oh man, it was great. Like, it was a great moment. And like, he's like, I'm sorry, little one, and threw her off the cliff, bro. Like, that was like, this is why Thanos was such a good fucking villain, bro. It showed so much more depth than I expected.
Yeah, that was crazy. He cried and then killed the thing he loved the most. The girl he loved the most. The person.
So he got the Soul Stone.
His daughter.
Yes, so he got the Soul Stone.
He got the stone. He got the stone.
And then what were we talking about? Okay, and then they're fighting.
So we're talking about the battle.
Yes, they're fighting. No, they were in Titan. They're fighting Strange and
Titan.
Spider-Man.
Sorry.
So, you know, so this is where your whole Doctor Strange thing I'm about to destroy, where he did actually use the Time Stone. He looked at all of the possibilities, and he said, "I saw like some like 150 million,
140,
whatever, some
trillion,
yeah, some crazy amount of
like Tony Stark was like, how many did we win?
One out of all of those. There was only one outcome where they come out and win.
Yeah."
So then, okay, they say that, but then they don't go into it more, because then the battle kind of starts. And this battle was fucking epic. Like, you see, there were some great team-ups, Doctor Strange and Star-Lord and Spider-Man and Iron Man, and like some funny shit, like when Spider-Man's like hopping out from different portals and kicking them and shit like that. Like,
yeah, Doctor Strange doing all this portal shit, and Doctor Strange tells his cape like to like
hold his hand,
keep his hand, open.
Like
make sure he can't
close
his hand. Yeah.
Dope moments. Here's another thing where I just don't understand how powerful Iron Man is. He just keeps getting, he's like almost god level now. Thanos throws a fucking moon at him.
Yeah.
And he lives. Like nothing happened.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Not he hit him with he threw with his hand, his gauntlet, reached in the sky, clenched it, which was dope as fuck. Like the whole scene was so sick.
Yeah.
Then threw the moon at him. Like
he just brought hellfire down. I was like, what?
That's when I was like, my jaw was just open. I was like, this is what I've been waiting for. Like, this is the 10 years I've been waiting for, bro. Like, this is it. Right. We're in superhero heaven, bro. This is it, bro.
That was so lit, though. I was like, what? He just reached in the sky.
Reached in the sky with his fucking hand and, like, brought that shit down on him. Like, somehow he lives through this.
Somehow he gets out
of this, lives, and is fighting him. So he makes, like, they hold their own, surprisingly, for a while, but then he kind of makes quick work of all of them. And then Doctor Strange looked like a beast in this movie too. That's another.
He looked like he was A1. A1.
Like top tier power level character.
Definitely.
Like he was going
like
mano
a mano
against Thanos. It was like
Thanos.
Him
and Thor were like kind of the most. They were like crucial characters.
Yeah, like power wise and like fighting wise, and knowledge wise too. Actually, because Doctor Strange knew a lot. But like he was fighting. When they were having like that whole wizard war based battle, like in the middle of the battle, him and Thanos and shit, like, and he was like really holding his own and shit.
And he was by himself for a minute.
Yeah, and
too,
he was like split into like into like all those different versions of himself, and like all the artists came out behind him. I was like, yo, this is sick.
Yeah, he was like,
you're right, this is sick, bro. This is sick. This is dope as fuck. But of course, he eventually lost that fight, and then it comes down to him, Thanos, and Iron Man. This is another reason, like. I love Iron Man, but I don't think he can go 1-on-1 with fucking Thanos. Did you see what he did to Hulk? I'm sorry. This is not
There's
your
no
Hulkbuster
way.
suit. Which
Yeah.
didn't even
Well, Thanos
hold
didn't
Hulk
want to
down.
kill him, like you said.
He did, though. He was about to kill him. He was about to kill him until Doctor Strange gave him the Time Stone.
Yeah.
And this is where you were
And
like,
that's
oh, you
when
didn't even use your strongest weapon.
No, it's the end game. I understand. I just wanted it to be resolved. I didn't want to wait. I don't want to have to wait for the next movie, dog.
He couldn't use the Time Stone because that is not... He already viewed all the options. And if he used the Time Stone, that option wouldn't be in play anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So he hands the Time Stone. Obviously, Tony Stark is super pissed. And he's like, this is the only way. Well, no, he doesn't say that yet. He gives him Time Stone, and then Thanos goes to Wakanda to get the last stone. The Mind Stone.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is like now we're in the end game.
Well, this is after. But he's saying that he goes to fight. He goes there because Captain, Black Panther, they all win. They kill the Black Order. All the Black Order is dead. Which I'll point out they were super weak, which everybody was pissed off about. That was like the main criticism I heard people saying was Black Order. They were weak, which they were. They were surprisingly weak. Even Ebony Maw, who was such a monster to begin with, they killed him off. Which was a cool reference to aliens, but they shot him into space and he just died. And I was just like, that's it?
I was like, that was the worst way to kill him.
I was like, he was too badass. You gotta give him a cool exit at least, bro. Like,
yeah, like he didn't die fighting? What?
He was literally the only one I cared about out of all of them, though.
I thought he was the most important one out of the Order. Like,
I thought he was gonna at least go down to the planet Titan, or somehow make a way to the planet Titan.
Yeah.
And then like reappear, but nope, didn't get that. He was just dead, frozen in space. I'm just like, that was fucking weak. So the Black Order was by far like they were weak, but I understand, but I wasn't too mad about it because I didn't go to see.
Power levels were all over
the place throughout the whole movie. It was like, okay, at one moment they look like, unstoppable, and then the next moment they're like getting killed by a kid. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is going on, you know?
Yeah.
But I was okay with that just because I didn't go to see a Black Order movie. I came to see a Thanos movie. So I wasn't like, I was like, yeah, they're kind of weak, but
as long as they don't do Thanos like that.
As long as Thanos is fine. So like, I was okay. So they beat everybody. They beat those little creatures. Like, they all run back to their ships because they got fucked up by Thor, who we forgot to mention shows up with the hammer, axe hammer, and starts wrecking shit.
Dog, that was the littest. That's when I think of Thor in my mind.
That's what I want to see.
That's what I want to see.
I'm like, that's it. That's it right here.
That's it. Yeah, that's it right there. Thanks. I would watch that. That scene. So savage, man.
I'll just think of like the Bad Boys 2 part where like they're driving, and he's like, "That's how you drive. That's how you drive right there."
From now on,
that's how you drive. That's how you Thor. That's how you Thor right there.
That's how you,
from now on, that's how you Thor.
Yeah.
That's the guy I needed, bro. That's the guy I needed.
He was lit. And then well, I guess I'm just not going to jump to that part. Like,
so, yeah, that was like amazing when he shows up, he wrecks shit. Just on a whole nother scale of Thor that we've never seen. He easily looks like the most powerful Avenger. And he looks like a true god. Like, they finally gave him the respect he deserved.
Well, they gave him the actual comic book outfit. The, like, orbs and shit was from the comic book.
He was just badass. Yeah. So, for those that don't wonder how he got there, well, you shouldn't be wondering because you saw the movie, but he got there with the Biofrost because apparently his ex-hammer can do Biofrost too. It's got a lot of properties. Yeah. So Scarlet Witch goes down to the battle, but that leaves Vision open to attack from the guy who the other one claimed was dead, but he wasn't. So, but then they go save his ass again because he's weak as fuck in the movie, and then
weak as fuck. I'm like, how does he go from to like flying again and pushing somebody up? And I'm like, dog, you're either strong or you're not.
I feel like you shouldn't be like, anyways, you're a machine, but whatever, bro.
Right. For real.
So they save his ass, but then Thanos, and they win the war because those little creatures run back to their ship because Thor spanked them. Mm-hmm. But then Thanos shows up. And you just know, well, that was fun while it lasted. It's over now. Yeah. Shows up. They finally get Scarlet Witch to do what she should have done like fucking 2 hours ago. But then I guess the movie probably would have been real short. Destroy the Mind Stone, which in turn would kill.
Oh wait,
Vision.
before we get there, I did want to mention. I was super pissed that the white boy from the Guardians basically ruined.
Okay, yeah. All right, so we do have to talk about that.
We didn't even say that.
Okay, so we do have to talk about that. Here's another thing that people are like really angry about is Star-Lord, who
it would have been over.
Who was a beloved character? Keyword was a beloved character of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So we do have to talk about here, dog. So you can go ahead and tell me. You can go ahead and explain this one.
Yo, okay, so he's what is his name? What's
Star-Lord.
The character? Star-Lord. He's
Peter Quill.
Gamora's boyfriend, basically. He loves her.
Yeah, they kissed.
Gamora,
everything. They're in love.
Basically, he's asking Thanos while he's wrapped up with everybody, and the girl with the antennas is like
put him to
trapping
sleep.
His mind.
Put him to sleep.
And like, but she can feel everything he's feeling and thinking and shit. And he's like asking him questions to agitate him while they're trying to get the gauntlet off of his hand. They're trying to get the gauntlet off, and he's yelling at Thanos.
Okay, well,
where's Gamora?
Well, Nebula showed up out of nowhere, and
oh yeah,
kind of tips the battle in their favor, and like they finally get him to sleep. Their plan actually works. So we didn't talk about this, but their plan actually works. They have him asleep. They're about to take the gauntlet off his fucking hands. Yeah. Now go.
It's literally a wrap. The movie was about to be over.
Yes.
Like,
now go.
We're about to just segue to like, oh, Thanos is out of here. Got the gauntlet. Like, I thought that's when the comic book was like gonna kick in. Like, oh, but he didn't get the last stone yet, so couldn't have until after. Never mind. So, basically, he's asleep. They've got him all wrapped up. The gloves like sliding off. Iron Man and Spider-Man are pulling as hard as they can on the glove. And this fucking Star-Lord dick is yelling at Thanos and starts punching him. And because
you didn't say why he's yelling at Thanos.
Right. So basically, how did it come out that
Nebula figured out why he was in such anguish because Gamora's not
because
with them.
He went to the planet with
Gamora
with her, but came back without her.
And she was like, he killed her.
Yeah.
And Star-Lord is like,
true?
Is it true? Is it true? Go ahead.
Is it true? Did you do it?
Yeah, he went full on Liam Neeson taken. Yep.
Tony Stark's like, you cool your jets. We've almost got the
just wait 2 seconds
off his hand.
Wait 2 seconds.
Just relax.
Is almost gone.
What the fuck are you doing? And he starts trying to pistol whip Thanos in a sleep state when they've got the glove like halfway up his hand. And then obviously the girl who's with the antennas, she's like, hurry because he's really strong. So now you want to hesitate to do. Like the fuck? Like, oh my god. So basically, he wakes up. He shakes her off. Or she like, basically her hands come off of his head. Because of fucking Star-Lord.
Yes.
Star-Lord's bashing him. She loses balance or some shit. And now he's, boom, out of the trance. He literally grabs the gauntlet with his fingertips.
Yes.
He has it in his fingertips like this. And then, like, grabs that shit back. And then it's a wrap. Like,
and then all of that shit that we just talked about. That moment. Happens.
Yeah, so basically then he goes to Wakanda where everybody else is battling and shit. But
can I just say that plan was dope as fuck though? Because I was like, where are they going?
It was his plan. By the way, that was Star-Lord's plan as well.
And then like the little antenna chick pops out from like the sky and like drops down on him. Right. It's like go to sleep. Like, I was like, yo, that's dope.
That's lit. Yeah, that's dope. That was dope. But that's why, how do you, he was like, and that was my plan, by the way. Like, and then he's like, you don't look so tough now, do you?
It was his plan. So, yeah. So Star-Lord was, I was kind of like, man, fuck Star-Lord for this. Like, fuck you very much. Like, why would you do this?
Like, that was it. That was it, right?
Like, I get they wanted to show that
literally his fault.
They were this close to stopping it. Yeah. But, like, they didn't have to do it like that. Like, it just didn't make sense. It just didn't make sense. Like, why the fuck would you do this? Like, you see the gauntlet is coming off of his hand, and they're yelling at you, it's almost off, it's almost off. And you do it anyways. Like, you look like the biggest fucking douche in the world.
In the universe.
Yeah, in the universe. Because you couldn't hold your anger for 2 seconds to save the universe. Yeah, so, yeah. So the backlash has been mighty strong for Star-Lord.
I had to get that out. I was like... Yeah.
The backlash has been mighty strong for Star-Lord, and rightfully so. He deserves every bit of it.
Yeah, man. Fuck yeah for that shit.
Okay, so that plan didn't work. They go back to Wakanda. She is finally... Well, they could have ended this on a number of occasions. They weren't being so fucking selfish. But she is finally going to destroy the Mind Stone, which they asked for 2 hours ago. And, like, she sees all her friends are trying to stop Thanos, but they're, like, literally... can't do shit to him because he has 5.
She waits till he's 15 feet away from her.
He has 5 stones, and like she literally waits to the end to like try to destroy it. But can I say how powerful she is? Because she's literally holding off.
That was amazing.
5 stoned Thanos with one hand, while
trying to destroy one other stone.
A stone, which is like. Which is something that originated from the beginning of the universe and has the power to do all types of shit. So
yeah,
she's incredibly powerful.
Yeah,
just her motives were dumb. Like, I get you love them, but like, then it is the universe. You should probably just destroy the stone. I don't know. I'm just saying, but she actually does destroy it. So she does actually destroy the Mind Stone. And for a second there, I was like, oh, damn, now what? But then I forgot he just got the Time Stone. And he gives this dope... Thanos gives a lot of dope fucking speeches through this movie, by the way. So he gives this dope speech to her, like, oh, I understand your pain, Then he pushes her aside, snaps his finger, and just rewinds time. To before she blew up the Mind Stone, and then he rips it out of his fucking forehead.
Just thanks, and then he just drops dead, colorless.
And then I forget what happens. She's fighting him. Something's happened. He snaps his fingers. This is the big moment we've all been waiting for. I didn't know if they were going to do it in the first part. Because it is such a big moment, but they went there. He got all 6 stones. And not only did he get all 6 stones, he got his wish. He finished his mission. He was successful.
But right before that, though,
I don't remember
the way he did it, that was Thor.
That's what happened before. Remember? Okay, you're right. I was like, damn, what the fuck happened before? I knew something big happened before.
The crucial Thor moment where everyone thought,
all right, I got this one. I got this
Thor
one.
comes in with his brand new weapon, the Thanos killer.
I got this one. So he finally gets it, puts it in his glove, and you think it's over. Like, oh, it's over. But Thor comes out of the fucking sky, axe hammer over his head, chucks that bitch as hard as he can, and like, doesn't Thanos like put like a force field or whatever? Like, he ejects some projectile to like stop the hammer.
He did try to like.
He's like got that power beam, and he's like trying to stop it. But this is a Thanos killing weapon. if you remember from early in the movie. And that shit just powers through that beam. Like, it looked fucking badass. And literally nails him in the chest.
Because Thor says, like...
This is...
Yeah, he's like, it's suicide if we don't have the weapon. That's why he, like, went and held up the gate for the stars, so he felt the stars' energy pass through him. Just
super
to make
badass moment for Thor, and just showed how fucking powerful he is. That's how you Thor. Yeah. That's how you Thor right there.
That's how you Thor. That shit was so sad.
Chucks that bitch. Chucks that bitch. Goes through the beam that he's putting out. And nails him in the fucking chest. And you're just like, oh, shit. Like, I was just like, oh. I was like, yo.
And he just, like, you see his face just, like.
I was like, this is it. That was like, he did it. Like, I was like, yo, he did it. And then.
For real. And he pulls up to him and he's pushing it in slow.
Like, I was like, oh, this is the Thor I've been waiting for, bro. Like, this is it, bro. Like, he looks like a monster.
He's like, I told you I'd kill you or something like that.
Yes, he did. I was like, oh, I fucking love Thor now. And then...
Right?
And then Thanos said the coldest shit ever.
The coldest shit I've ever...
the coldest shit ever. You should have aimed for the head. And then snapped his fingers, bro. I was like, yo.
I yelled. I was like, what?
Yo, when he said that shit, you should aim for the head. And then snapped his fingers. I was like, yo. Like, this is... unreal, bro. Like, that's when I was like, this movie is unreal, bro. So that shit was dope. Like, Thanos has the coldest sayings in this movie. Should have aimed for the head.
For real though.
Snapped his fingers. And those that don't know the comic books, he can wipe out half the population of the entire universe with the snap of his fingers. So he snapped his fingers and then disappears to, like, a orangish place. They don't say what it is, but I'm pretty sure it's the Soul World, which is actually inside the Soul Gem. Yeah. Because he sees Gamora as a little child, and like she asks him, like, "Did you do it? Did you finally do it?" And he's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "How much did it cost you?" And like he's like, "Everything." And like just that moment, even after like kill her, but like that moment, just like you can feel the emotion in that shit, like. Right. He's just real. And then, like,
because she looked sad. It was like the young Gamora.
Yeah. She's, like, sad about it. And, like, you can feel, like, the weight of what he did, even in himself, like, what he did, you know? Right. And so then he disappears. But then we go back to Eros, and then all of a sudden, everybody fucking dies. Like, everybody's literally just disappearing. Like,
everybody starts just...
fading into nothing, and you think
nothing.
It's just gonna be certain people. You don't think it's gonna be like super important. No, everybody, like Black Panther, like everybody. Bucky Barnes,
the Black Panther,
Spider-Man.
And so that's like Spider-Man was one of the other top 3.
Yeah, Spider-Man was the one that people were super emotional about.
I bet some people cried in the theater, honestly.
Probably.
Because, like, when I saw it, that was so sad just because of how he was
just... Yeah, he was begging for his life, basically. I don't want to die.
Pleading for his life
to Stark, and you could just tell Stark feels so guilty and shit like that.
Sir. Yeah, he's like, sir, please. Like, I was like, fuck. He said, sir, please, I don't want to go. And then just disappeared. I was like, damn.
Everybody, bro.
And he left Tony Stark to live with that.
When you say half the universe, we literally mean half the universe disappears into thin air.
Yeah. He was like rich, poor, everyone. He's like a fair.
It didn't matter.
Righteous.
It was just random. And everybody in the movie theaters was just quiet as fuck and like was just like staring at the screen like, what the fuck just happened? Like, this is unfucking believable. Like, this isn't your typical superhero movie where the good guys always win at the end. Like, wins. No. The bad guy won. And not only won, he killed half of the universe with the snap of his fingers. And, like,
yeah.
It was a bold move. Like, you don't,
Marvel's never let the villain win in a movie.
I mean, you don't, it's just been proven over time that, movies, they don't want to leave people with that bad taste in their mouth. And, like, unless it's, And when they do it, it's like on a rare occasion that it happens, and it's always noteworthy. So like this was like, and for somebody as like mainstream as Marvel to do it in Disney was such a bold move, and I thought it was perfect. Like because it was a happy ending for Thanos, but it wasn't for everybody else. Like, but this is the Thanos story. They said this is his movie, so he got his full arc.
Right.
Like he got his, he said that. What are you gonna do after? He said, "I'm gonna look out onto.
What are you gonna do after you're done?
I'm gonna look out onto a beautiful sunset and just have peace, knowing that the universe is safe." And like that's what he did. He got out his little hut and he's like all tribal and shit. Like he got like a loincloth on and he's staring out into a little sunset and smiling.
Yeah. Right.
And I was just like, "Bro, this movie's fucking epic." Like, so. Yeah. For for his plan was just like, that's why I said he was making so much sense. That's why he's so relatable is that, yeah, his plan is fucked up and like bad and like, just it's just not good, but it's relatable to his plan because it's not relatable, but his plan is all positive. Rational. He was very rational thinking. He said, "Look, my planet, I said you need to kill off half the population or we will die. We'll go extinct because there's limited resources," which is true. There's limited resources in the universe, limited resources on planets. And when they become limited, people fight, people kill each other, people die, people go extinct. And this planet went extinct. Mm. And he's the hero of his own story. He's doing this. He's doing the hard choices. He's making the hard decisions to save the universe from killing itself, which is super fucked up.
By killing half the universe, I'm extending their life by like millions, like years. Their planets and their life itself will last
so
longer.
So that life can rebalance itself.
Yeah. So there's like it's
kind of rational, but it's like super fucked up. You're still killing trillions of people, but if you think about it, it does compute. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like too many people, too many creatures, overpopulation, limited resources.
Yeah, I mean,
to something.
Maybe if he broke it down better to the heroes, he'd be like, "All right, guys."
Because they're heroes, they don't kill.
Now.
No, because Captain's stance was
like,
we don't trade lives.
Only lasts
what did he say?
Like,
what Cap said? We don't trade lives. That's hero's stance, regardless.
We don't trade lives.
His is I make the hard choices. That's what he's saying. This is his. He's the hero of his own story, and this movie was his story. This is why it was so epic and like. So it kind of because he told Gamora like, look, she's like, you murdered my people. He's like, yes, but do you know what happened to your planet since then? It's thriving.
Right.
It's peaceful. Everybody has nobody's hungry.
There's nobody's poor.
And it's like, well, yeah, because you killed half of the population of the planet. But it is like a utopia now. So it's like,
it's a utopia.
It's like what it's terrible that you're killing people, but then it's like a utopia, and it's like that, those two clashing things. Which why he's such a layered character, not just that one note villain that we get in so many movies and shit. And that's what made him so badass because it was like rational.
He doesn't want to destroy planets. He just wants to balance life on the planet.
This is why he did not kill any of the Avengers at the end when they were trying to stop him.
Yeah.
Because he knew, I don't want to kill. I just want to complete my mission. And if I have to kill to do that, I will. Which is that. So it was like, yeah, he's a bad guy, but he's not. And I just thought it was like really great because it is from the comics. Because in comics, he was very layered about it. And like, I think less so. But at the end of the comics, when he does kind of change his mind and like give up on that, like he does show that side of him. So I don't know. I just thought that part was, the whole story about him was just full circle. Was just amazing.
Yeah, definitely. What's actually interesting, though, for me is, like, after diving a little bit more into, like, the comic book stuff, there's an interesting theory that final scene of him watching the sunrise.
Was he on Gamora's planet?
A flash forward to the yeah.
You think?
It's of the end of the second movie.
No, I don't think so.
It's not the conclusion of this
I think
film.
it's the conclusion of this film.
They said, because there's a thing where he basically, Nebula gets control of the gauntlet.
In the comics.
In the comic. And then he basically retires to a simple life.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think this is the end of this conclusion. I think this is the end.
Yeah. I mean, it works both ways.
But I do have some theories. So I think Captain America...
Nebula's still in play.
She is. I think she's going to play an important part.
Yeah. We didn't get to the extra scene.
I mean, the extra scene, we'll just keep it super... I mean, it wasn't super, informative. It was just... Nick Fury dies, Maria Hill dies, and the whole snap of the finger. But before he dies, he sends out an alert, and it's the symbol of Captain Marvel. So it's basically announcing she's here, she's coming, and she's going to be the next one. And she's apparently going to be the most powerful Avenger, which is kind of weird because Thor's still there. But yeah, so you're going to get some new faces. Ant-Man's going to be in it because he was not in this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which they did just drop a new trailer for. They did drop a new trailer for his Ant-Man and the Wasp, and it's incredible.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel's coming. So yeah, there's a lot of characters that we haven't really gotten seen, and Captain America is going to have a much bigger role because they're going to come together and try to figure out what they're going to do. Because we didn't talk about this, but before Doctor Strange even disappears, and before he disappears, he tells Iron Man, "This is the only way. We're in the end game now." This is why I said, he did know. This is why he didn't use a time stone, because he knew this is the only way. I had to give it to him.
Yeah.
And we all had to die so that you can win, basically. Win. So he's going to, I mean, it's pretty much a consensus that they're going to bring these people back. Everybody turned to dust.
Yeah.
Maybe Gamora.
Right.
I think. Loki, I'm not.
Well, because that's what they said is once she gets it. I don't think Loki comes back. I'm not convinced
that Loki's coming back. But Gamora, maybe.
I think it's just to snap the finger people.
Maybe Gamora because of the Soul Stone, and she could be in the Soul World with Adam Warlock.
Right.
Which is going to be in the next one.
That makes sense.
Yeah, he had to do Adam Warlock.
Do you think Red Skull, is he going to have
He could come back.
Appearance?
I think once they do the stones, I think he'll be back in play in the Marvel cinematic
because
universe.
The stone's gone, so he doesn't. I don't think he has to be there.
I think he will come back into play as a villain for Captain America, or whoever is going to be in the Captain America role. Because I don't think Captain America is going to live through the second one. I don't.
Interesting.
I think he's going to die. I think he's going to sacrifice himself. Because to possess the Soul Stone, you have to sacrifice something.
Yeah, but you have to sacrifice the thing you love the most, so I don't know.
I think Captain is going to die. Because, again, they're still saying that he might not be back for the Captain America role anyways. And it's a role that's been handed to other characters, like Winter Soldier and Bucky and all that. Winter Soldier and Falcon and all that. So I think if anybody's going to die, I think Captain would, permanently. But we'll see.
Oh, okay.
We'll see.
No, I believe that. I can see that.
Yeah, so I mean, now it's kind of I'm interested to see, because part 2, they did so much in part 1. And it's what are you going to do to... How are you going to top this, basically? How can you possibly top this? Black Order is dead. Thanos already got all the stones. Half the world's universe is dead. How are you going to get to that point where you can reverse? That's what I'm interested in. Because where's the conflicts now? Because Thanos is an active antagonist at this moment in time.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, obviously, the Avengers are gonna regroup,
For
so
sure.
I'm assuming it'll start with the Tony Stark idea or Thor.
I'm interested
But
also how the fuck are they going to get back to Earth?
Yeah,
A lot of unanswered questions here.
that's a good question. That's so weird. I didn't even think about that.
Well, I guess I guess they might.
No, because their ship crashed.
Well,
and
no,
he's just
because the
there.
Guardians they didn't get there on a crashed ship, so they'll probably just explain it that way.
That's right. And Nebula, how did Nebula get there?
They were in communication. Nebula and the one with the antennas.
Oh, okay. What?
But yeah, like there's a lot of unanswered questions, but goddamn, this movie was good. I just don't know how they're
That shit was
possibly
lit.
going to top this.
I don't know if they can.
It's got to be. I think it's got to be a drastically
Well,
different movie.
it would have to be because Thanos was the whole
Yeah,
movie.
and-
So like, there's no way he can be in it like this in the second
No.
part. So
He won. Why would he be?
like, I don't know. I don't. Well, that's what I'm saying. So like, who's gonna be as
That's
interesting
what I'm
as
saying.
Thanos?
That's why I was like, where's the conflicts? The direct conflicts going to be coming from because he won. Like he's not like fighting anymore. Like he won.
Unless there's some like Easter eggs that we missed or something. Like, I mean, they're probably gonna. He's gonna try to figure out what Doctor Strange's vision was.
Well,
That'll probably be it. It'll probably be a
he can't
slower
figure
paced
it.
action
Yeah,
film.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be drastically different. Not as high pace as this one was throughout all the way throughout. Because so many people are gone, and like I said, like they're trying to come back. Like he not fight. He don't give a fuck about fighting. Like he don't care about none of these people no more.
Yeah, but like everybody can come back.
They will, 100%. Black Panther has another movies to come out. They just made like billions of dollars. He's not fucking dead from the universe. Like,
Oh yeah,
impossible.
nah, of course not. Yeah.
No, I'm interested. I'm interested. I'm definitely interested to see like Adam Warlock, what they do with that one too, because he's such a big part of the comics, and they've already name dropped him in the last Guardians, so
Definitely.
he got to make an appearance in the new one. I think he's in the Soul. I mean, if it's like in the comics, he's in the Soul Stone. So, which the Soul World, I think, is going to play a very big part in this, and I think that's going to be Thanos' story. Basically, is going to be in that realm. You know, more so than
Yeah, well, the Soul Stone is like that's
because
probably to me the most interesting.
because I don't
one.
think his conflict, like with what he did, killing like Gamora, is going to be over with. I think that's just going to be a start. Like I don't think she's dead. I think she's part of her or whatever her guy or her spirit, whatever soul is in the stone.
Yeah.
And I think like that's gonna be like a major conflict for him, like journey for him through the second.
Yeah,
one.
because I think it keeps all the souls. The stone keeps all of them. So I think it's like she can be resurrected or whatever. Because like Red Skull, like is immortal wherever he was
obviously
with the
he's
stone.
obviously not
basically.
eating out there. Like,
So yeah, so like yeah, I mean I don't know. The Soul Stone's got a lot of power.
oh, you guys tell us what you thought about the movie, specific scenes that we talked about here, any Easter eggs that we missed, any theories you have for Avengers 4. I think maybe we will do more in-depth theories and stuff for the next one. We have Shannon and maybe a different guest on to go more into like the next phase of stuff. But this was just our spoiler cast of Infinity War and what we thought, and like just scenes and shit, and just yeah. So like, I mean, like I said,
The action.
did you guys love the movie as much as we did? Where would you rank this? You know, among their extensive universe now. We'll probably do rankings too next time, but let us know in the comments below, and if we got anything wrong, let us know there too, and tell us the name of the antenna chick. Cannot For life of us, remember her fucking name.
For real.
But yeah, that's it for this week's Fear the Show podcast. Today's date is May 3rd, 2018. If you have any questions, comments, topic suggestions about this show, past shows, or future shows, you can leave that in the comments below wherever this is posted. Email us directly at podcast@livinglifefearless.co or go to livinglifefearless.co/podcast and fill out the form there, and we will try to get back to you, at our discretion, and maybe you'll show up in the show, and maybe you'll, get a shout out. So, other than that, thank you for listening. If you haven't seen Infinity War and you watched this whole thing, I feel sorry for you.
Wow. Yeah.
You should have left a while ago. But if you're still here and you haven't seen it, definitely go watch this movie because it's fucking incredible.
Definitely see that movie. Yeah. Infinity War is one of the best, probably my favorite Avengers movie.
I mean, last note, it was just a sad distinction between that and Justice League.
Yo, don't even bring Justice League into it.
Sad distinction. Like, this is how you're supposed to do these.
Yeah, but Watchmen was fire.
Yeah. But, thank you for listening. We'll be back shortly. This is not the last you'll hear about Infinity War. We're here on this show. It's that fucking good.
Yeah. Infinity War, Spoilercast.
If you haven't already, subscribe to our website, subscribe to our podcast. Share this, give this likes, do whatever. It helps us out immensely. Thank you once again. Back shortly. Peace.
Thank you. Keep living life fearless, y'all. That vintage swag, too.